Hello, I'm Will Skolton, and I'd like to lead you in another Bible study. Before we get started, though, I'd like you to know that I went to church for 57 years of my life. I know the kind of people that go to church. They're great people. They're dedicated. They're generous. They believe what the pastor says. Okay? But pastors lie. I tell you, this is the authoritative word. This is what we go by. Yet, how many holy days that are in here, commanded in here, does the church keep? 0. 0. That should make your head spin a little bit. We teach this alone, but we keep 0 days that are commanded in here. Let that sink in, okay? Rome did some bad things. They took away all the biblical holy days and replaced them with Roman holy days. Don't believe me? Do a search on it. You'll find the church keeps 0 holy days for various reasons. We're going to look at Christmas today. Who owns Christmas more than anything else in the world today? The church. Okay? How many people do you know that don't keep Christmas today? We need to change that, because the Bible does tell us the appointed times he was born in. Okay? And it's impossible for him to be born in December. That's when all the Greek gods were born. Okay? I don't use Jesus. I use Yeshua. Okay? He tells us, broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many find it or follow it. But narrow is the road that leads to eternal life, and few find it. Okay, if Christmas is pagan and the church is pushing all this, what road are you on? Are you on the wide road, the broad road? Something to think about. We got to be set apart from the world. Okay, it's hard. I mean, traditions are hard to break. In this video, we're going to be looking at the scriptures are very clear that Yeshua was born in the fall. Okay, September, October. Okay, said be there's Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement then, and there's Sept, or the Feast of Tabernacles. That's when he was born. And it's not a certain date every year. It's keeping the feast, the festivals, the appointed times every year, because the dates change. That's how the Hebrew calendar works. But we are so into Rome. Everything's Rome. So it's hard for us to do this. But we're going to be looking at what did the wise men see in the sky? What does the Bible tell us? It's in there. So let's get started. I won't say too much else. Okay, so the name of my study is Revelations Tells Us What the Wise Men Saw in the Sky. But first we're going to be looking at Matthew 2. And this is the King James Version. And it does say now. A lot of say after. Okay. So now when Yeshua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is the king born of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him. Okay. Does this sound like it'd be 2 years or so after his birth? I would say the Creator would have it be at the time of his birth. Okay? Maybe not in the actual delivery, but within a couple days of his birth. Okay? Why would they come 2 years later? I mean, what would the sign in the sky be for that? Oh, here you go. You're late. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he gathered all the chief priests and scribes and people together, he demanded of them where the Yeshua would be born. And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. Okay? We're going to be looking at young child, okay? So don't let that deter you from what I told you. And when they found him, bring him to me, bring word to me again that I may go and worship him also. When they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over the place where the young child laid. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. Then they had opened their treasures. They presented unto him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned a dream of Yahuwah, and they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And then they departed. So what star constellation did they see? Let's go to Revelations, this should say 12. Don't you think the heavenly sign would have got the wise men there at the time of his birth? I'm going to change that a minute. Sorry, I had to change that to read Revelations 12. Okay. And there appeared a great wonder in the heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. Okay? A sign in the sky. What do you think that would be? This would be the constellation of Virgo, which happens in September or October. This time, some bright stars merged in together to make the Star of Bethlehem. Okay? I seen this probably about 5 years ago. There was YouTube videos, and people had these astrology programs or something, and they could pinpoint the minute that Yeshua was born. But I couldn't find that today, because I was going to put some in the matter. If I come across them, I'll put it in the comments. Okay? According to Leviticus, the first day of the 7th month is trumpets. The 10th day is the Day of Atonement. The 15th day starts Tabernacle or Sukkot. If we keep the appointed times, we will celebrate his birth. I think he was born on the first day of Tabernacles myself, and then circumcised on the last great day, the 8th day added to Tabernacles. But let's look at more. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Dwelt can also mean tabernacled. Okay? It's Greek strong number 4637, and I copied 4638 too. You can look them up in your dictionary, but he spread his tabernacle. He tabernacled among us during tabernacles. Chapter 2 of Luke. It's a little different. I think both stories are true. I just don't understand the differences. Maybe someone does and can explain it to us. And Joseph went up from Galilee out to the city of Nazareth, unto Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because it is the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for him in the inn. And there were shepherds in the same country abiding in the field, keeping watch to their flock by night. That would not happen in December. It happened anytime in between March and October. Okay? It's cold, rainy season in the wintertime there. And they'd protect their sheep. And lo, the angel of Yahuwah came upon them, and the glory of Yahuwah shone around them, and they were afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David the Savior, who is Yeshua. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, and lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising Yahuwah, and saying, Glory to Yahuwah in the highest, and on peace earth. On earth peace, goodwill toward men. And it came to pass as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which has come to pass, which Yahuwah has made known unto us. And they came with haste, and they found both Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in the manger. And when they had seen it, they had made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. And all they heard wondered at those things which were told to them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising Yahuwah for all the things that they had heard and seen, as it was told to them. And when the 8 days were accomplished for the circumcision of the child, his name was to be called Emmanuel, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. And when the days of her purification, according to the law of Moses, were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to Yahuwah. As it is written in the law of Yahuwah, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy unto Yahuwah, and to offer sacrifice according to that which is said of the law of Yahuwah, a pair of turtle doves or 2 pigeons. And they were in the same country, abiding in the field, keeping their watch by night. Shepherds wouldn't be in the fields in December, would they? December is pagan. Okay? Now, I told you we were going to look at some stuff. Oh, one sec. Okay, we're in Matthew 2, verse 11. You see young child. I click on it. And down here, you can see the strong number, but we're going to be looking at this word right here. Okay. Now, I'll right click on that, and that will bring me back over to, one second. Okay, so here's the word we just looked at. Okay. Young child, little. Here's the Hebrew word for it. Okay. Now, I'm going to click on that. And then I got to pause it again. Okay, I resumed it. So you can double check me. This is the same Hebrew word we just looked at on the other slide, okay? Give birth, begat, born. Okay? I'm going to click on that. And a whole bunch of verses come up. Okay? Well, let me see where the camera is. Okay? Again, here's the word. Okay? You will give birth. I have brought forth. She gave birth, gave birth, gave birth, had a son. She gave birth, had born, will give birth. She had born, bore, bear a child. Okay, these are all what the word means in Hebrew, which is why the Septuagint is so so good for us. Okay, gave birth to a son, gave birth, childbirth. Okay, so don't be afraid when it says young child, okay? And I didn't mention it earlier, but when we were talking about Revelations 12, the year Yahshua was born, there would have been more things in the sky. Jupiter is a bright star that would have merged with one or two other stars. And then it goes into the woman into her womb for 9 months. And then it comes out at the time of his birth. I mean, it's really cool. And I don't know why the church lies to us, because, yeah, I won't even go there. But please stop keeping the pagan holiday of Christmas. You're teaching your children to lie. I mean, I know traditions are hard, okay? I'm a minority trying not to keep Christmas, and it's hard. But we need to get rid of Christmas. We need to start keeping the Creator's holy days and get rid of Rome's holy days. Because if you keep Rome's holy days and you're not keeping the Creator's holy days, who are you really worshiping? Stuff we have to think about. I'll be praying for the church. Thank you.